What is up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about my brand new 2022 Kawasaki ZX-6R. Let's get started. So not only am I going to be talking about my first 1,000 miles on the bike, as you can see pretty close, not exactly, but wait for it. Bam! 903. So not exactly 1,000, but we're getting up there. So one important thing I would like to know that this is actually my first ever street bike. I've never rode bikes before. I grew up riding dirt bikes and stuff like that, so it helps me understand how to use a clutch and a little bit of leaning, but other than that, this is a brand new experience to me, and I've been really enjoying it so far. So obviously there's some discussion on if you should start on a 600cc bike, or technically here 636. I think it really just depends on the person. So for me, obviously I take every day as a learning day, but you also have to understand that this bike is extremely powerful and you need to treat it with respect, or else you could easily hurt yourself. And I think that understanding of this bike has really helped me a lot when learning how to ride it and just getting better overall. So as my first bike experience, I've genuinely loved it. This thing has so much power. I currently have it on full power mode already, but I have it on the maximum terrain control. Turn that off so the battery doesn't die. And I've already done a few things to it, not too much. I really want to replace these handlebar ends yet, but I haven't found exactly what I want. I have the clutch and brake levers replaced with ASV levers. They are very nice. I like them a lot. They feel really good, really authentic, and high quality. I have a tank pad on it. I'm probably gonna remove it. I don't like it a whole lot, but gotta get the brake fluid sock. Hell yeah. Just your typical things, frame sliders. I added decal stickers on the side that you guys can kind of see. It says ZX-6R on it. I think it just makes it stand out a little bit more. Also added one to the side and up front as well. And as you can obviously see, I replaced the exhaust with an M4. Nothing too crazy, not replacing like the whole exhaust system, but just something that sounds different, sounds really good. I can show you guys here what it sounds like. Oh man, it is hot. So that's what she sounds like. A little rev. So it sounds amazing. I actually really like how it sounds, especially because when I first got the bike, we ripped off the stock exhaust and then just put a straight pipe on it. Oh man, that sounded so bad, but I could not stand having a stock exhaust that came like out to here on it. I additionally did like a small sort of taillight delete on it. Obviously still have the default blinkers that come with the bike, just because it's like one little piece. Eventually I would like to switch it out to where it's just this on the top and then that controls everything. But that's a little bit later down the road. I replaced the front wind visor in the front just to have it blacked out, just because it just matches a little bit better. The one that comes with it is just like a super clear one, and it just did not look right at all with the bike. So I made sure that was one of the first things I replaced. So in my first 1,000 miles, like I've learned a whole lot, especially on my first day. I learned how detrimental stones and grass can be. I actually dropped the bike the first day of getting it in the stones a little bit. You can see some little paint chips here, but that is literally the most I've done to it. So luckily, nothing too stupid yet. I dropped it twice, once in the stones because the tire like sunk into the stones and it turned my handlebars. So I dropped it on that side that you saw there. But luckily, nothing too bad. It's not a big deal. It's just a sticker. As well as I made the rookie mistake of stopping at an incline stop sign in third gear and using the front brake to try to stop myself. So trying to let go the front brake as well as trying to give it gas in third gear, the bike jolted forward, stalled out, and then I just fell over to the side. So in my first 1,000 miles, I've dropped it twice, but I've definitely learned a lot. I've definitely learned a lot about leaning and stuff like that, and just really trusting the bike. So I'm a part of a rider group. My dad actually rides. I bought him his bike as well, and he got involved with a bunch of riders as well. So they've also taught me a lot along the way and always ride with me and just make sure they're telling me like little things that I'm doing wrong and can make adjustments on. And I've learned that that really helps a lot, having people that have been riding for a long time constantly paying attention to you and giving you insight on what you're doing right and wrong has really quickly sped up how fast I've been able to get comfortable riding this bike. And from riding with other newer riders as well, the massive thing that I've learned too that I feel like I've gotten kind of quick that others haven't is being comfortable leaning with this bike. Oh my lord, I love leaning at fast speeds on this bike so much. Obviously at turns that I know what I'm doing at and understand and know the turn, because as I said before, while I do push the limits with this bike, I make sure to treat it with respect on the road and make sure I don't do anything too stupid, because that could easily cause a crash, you know? So while I do enjoy testing this bike, I make sure to do it with respect and make sure I'm doing my due diligence when I'm taking these turns or trying anything new. In my career as a professional player, the way I've learned to get better and improve in many aspects of my life is to always push limits in small increments. And once you get comfortable with that limit push it a little bit further each time. So that's been the kind of methodology I've been using to improve my riding as a rider and just learning how to get comfortable and quickly adjust to riding on something like this, because I've never done this before. I grew up riding dirt bikes. While it's somewhat similar, it's also completely different. So if you're like a newer rider out there, the biggest thing that I can recommend is take your time, but don't be afraid to push limits. And if you do push limits, push them very little and only push to where you're comfortable doing so. You have to be able to go out of your comfort zone to improve, but don't go too far out and do something you're not comfortable with. Something that I've always done, especially if I'm not comfortable with a turn or speed or anything, is always be hovering my hand over the clutch and brake to make sure I can use those without any hesitation at all. As well as if you're kind of afraid of like a turn and you don't want to be going as fast, downshifting helped me a lot as well because it'll naturally slow you down. I think it's called engine braking. I'm not 100% sure. Still new to this stuff, but I think that's what it's referred to as. And that's helped a lot as well for me. But again, overall, I love this bike so much. It is dropped because, unfortunately for me, I am 5'4". Holy shit. I'm surprised my feet still even touch the ground. The back is lowered 4. The front is lowered, I think, 2. Took a little bit of time, but being able to lower it has helped me a lot. And I feel way more comfortable on the bike because before, the front was lowered about 1.5, and this was like 3. And that was part of the reason why I fell in that third gear thing that I told you guys about, is because I could barely touch the ground. It was very bad. So having it lowered to the length that it is now, 2 and 4, has really helped me a lot. Okay, I am back. My phone died because the battery is too hot. It is 95 degrees outside, so it is pretty hot. So I'm gonna have to probably finish this video from standing underneath here. All in all, what I would like to say is this bike is amazing. I'll give you guys a quick around. Very beautiful bike, a lot of fun to ride. I feel like I've learned a lot as a new rider. Ordered a GoPro and a mount for my helmet, so I'm excited to start doing like a learning how to ride with me kind of series like that. Something that I've thought about doing, and we'll see how it goes. Just going through the motions of what I've learned as a rider and what I've gotten better with, and just things that I do every day to just try to improve. As you can see here, I love this helmet. I had a Ruroc helmet at first, and God, that helmet was terrible. Picked up an HJC. This helmet is absolutely beautiful. I feel like it matches my bike way better. Got my logo on the back of it, pretty clean. Inside is awesome. The only thing I don't like from this to my Ruroc is the Ruroc has like a little magnetic clamp, so super easy on and off to tie it on. So this just takes a little bit longer to hook on, but awesome helmet, very beautiful helmet. I love it. Way much better than the Ruroc. They're actually pretty trash now that I actually got to experience a different helmet. But all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed the review video of my first 1,000 miles on a ZX-6R. If you guys would like to see more content with me learning how to ride and just going through those motions, and if any experienced riders watching this video would love to give advice in the comment section of what to be paying attention to as I learned to ride in my first season, feel free to comment down below and let me know. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys soon.